have to do now, they have to spend time game planning for him. They have to spend time now game planning for him. Am I right? Strategy.
Steve Kerr saying Steph Curry is now upgraded to questionable for Game 1 against the Pelicans for the second round playoff series. Curry participating in his first full practice. Remember, he had the grade 2 left MCL sprain. Now, they said if he gets through practice, the next practice, the couple days, you guys know your body has to, react to it. They monitor that.
He's not playing.
You think this is all a sham, a front?
He's not playing.
Really?
Not Game 1.
No, but this is why he's not playing. You know what they have to do now? They have to spend time game planning for him. They have to spend time now game planning for him. Am I right? Strategy. You have to game plan. Now you have to.
Get out mind tricking.
You don't know. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're talking about this is Pelicans. We don't know. We don't know. So they have to now game plan. So even if you have to spend an hour, 2 hours, even extra time going over his plays, that's less time to go over KD and Draymond and Clay. So when those guys don't show up, they're actually less prepared because they, instead of spending on those main guys, they spent a lot of time preparing for Steph and the whole crew.
Chess match.
I love this.
Yes,
I love this.
That's why we're here to tell you this stuff.
This type of stuff. Well, I mean, it's true. Look, Steph Curry changes the geometry of a defense more than any other player. It's different from prepping any other player because he literally stretches the floor in different angles and different ways. It is a whole different thing you have to prepare for.
Well, I think with having him, the system, it goes back into place. I mean, when you have KD, who is a one-on-one player and needs Steph to relieve some of the pressure off him because of the way they play, they're going to need him. I mean, we stress this on this show that they can't win a championship without him. No. And this is going to be a tough series without him as well, depending on when he comes back.
I don't know, though. I'm going to have a little more faith in Steve Kerr and the innocence. No, you think I'm
Steve's
just
a full-on liar. Steve's a liar. I've known Steve since I was 18 years old. Steve's a liar. He's a big liar. That one.
You don't think Steph, though, is pushing to play?
No, I think he wants to play, but
that all of this early, whatever stuff is just
those strategy. 2 days, 3 days. If he can sit out 1 or 2 games and he gets an extra 6 days to rest,
right.
Because understand, he's going against Rondo. He's going against Drew Holiday. It's not like he's going to be out there and they're going to be able to hide him. He's going to jump into a fire, and so Rondo's going to pick him up full court. Rondo is going to test his knee more than anyone in the Warriors organization ever could.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that he is able to go out there, because if he plays one game and then soar in game 3 and 4, then now you put yourself, and if he has a setback, or let him rest another week, let him rest another 3-4 days.
Well, I've been saying, Fort Tracy's heard me say this about 24 times. I'm worried about compensation injuries with Steph Curry because of the ankle and the knee on opposite sides of his body, and you start getting back from one and the other one gets under pressure. So I think he should rest as much as he can, but we'll see. I mean, you mentioned the way the Pelicans defense has played, very successful against the Blazers. What do you think the blueprint is with Steph Curry, without Steph Curry? The Pelicans are facing the defending champions. How can they try to take them down?
Well, look at Rondo. Rondo is, if he does not tear his ACL or does not get hurt in that Boston series, he was going to take them down almost single-handedly. And now you come here and against one of the best backcourts in the NBA, him and Drew Holiday take down Damian Lillard. And CJ, they just didn't have a series. So Rondo is the key. So you don't want to just put Steph out there. And I think that's the key. The guard play is going to be the most important.
So what should the Pelicans do, though? Besides, obviously, let Rondo be Rondo.
In terms of what?
About how they should go at this Warriors team. Because that's a big question, right?
Well, they just attack. I mean, you got to attack these guys. Absolutely. That's how you got to play these guys. You have to attack. Rondo has to attack. Drew has to attack. And AD has to attack. Like, you can't let them off the hook. Make Draymond Green play defense entirely. Make him come out. Drew has to attack Clay. Like, you get Clay or Draymond, one of these guys that are solid defensively, in foul trouble, they're going to have problems.
All right, well, both of you give a little advice to Anthony Davis here, because obviously there's no one that matches up exactly to him. So how can he be the most dominant self?
He's going to be fine.
He's going to be fine. But if you touch it inside, of 3 and they do not double team you, shoot the ball every time.
My advice is don't get caught up in Draymond. He's going to try to get up under his skin and do some craziness.
It's his only chance. It's his only chance. And I like Draymond, but that's his only chance. It's his only chance.
Nice shot. Now that I'm retired, I'm spending time relaxing. That's why I wear Skechers Relax Fit shoes. They got a rooming fit and a Skechers Air Cool Memory Foam, so my feet get to relax too. These balls are way too small.
Order for Steve.
Really got to work on my slice.
Skechers Relax Fit shoes for instant comfort.
So Giannis Antetokounmpo is just different than the rest of the NBA, right? I mean, he looks different. He plays different, almost as if he's the walking, talking, physical embodiment of the concept of positionless basketball. And don't forget, he came to the game differently too. This goes way beyond just not growing up in the AAU circuit. Giannis didn't even learn how to make a layup until he was 13. And once he did begin playing as a teenager, well, it's not like his team back in Greece had a Nike deal. His brother tells a story about the two of them playing in a league game where they had to alternate turns on the floor because they were sharing the same pair of shoes. So it's not a surprise that as we watch Giannis now and we see his physical gifts and his relentless work ethic and, well, even in his 5th year in the league, he is still figuring out how to use it all. Take this playoff matchup against the Celtics. This is the first series where he is definitively the best player on the court on either team, and that comes with some complexities. Your coaches want you to exert your will, but also make your teammates better, and also you are the other team's primary target. And there have been times over the past week or so that Giannis has struggled with how to balance all of that. In Game 5, he took only 10 shots and allowed himself to be manhandled by Al Horford. Not good. So last night, he came out vowing to be more aggressive, and you could see it all over the court. Take a look at this steal and transition bucket. Now, the Bucks are one of the league's top teams in transition, and Giannis is such a big part of that. There is just not another human in the NBA who can match him step for step for step. Then in the third quarter, we got what is really his signature play, this Euro step that sends poor Semi Ojeleye to the floor like a bowling pin. I mean,
you know about that.
Come on, that is ridiculous. And watch his teammates afterward. They're like little kids imitating their favorite player, except, well, I mean, he shares a locker room with them. What impressed me most, though, was the fourth quarter, where Giannis put the hammer down, scoring 12 of his 31 points. And now we all get a Game 7, which is awesome. And Bucks fans get their first shot at a second-round playoff series in 17 years, which is awesome. Yeah, it really has been that long since Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson and Sam Cassell. Sorry, Tracy McGrady. Barrel through the East.
Big dog getting shot on me. It wasn't the only one right there.
It's a little touchy around here still. The hope in Milwaukee is that Giannis will provide just as many big moments in the years to come, although the organization is realistic. Giannis is not Jesus Shuttleworth. He has a different path. But by coming up with a dominant performance as his team faced elimination, he took a huge step in that path last night. And it only goes forward from here. So guys, I just want to cut to the chase. Who do you trust more in this Game 7? Giannis to take that next step, win a big Game 7 on the road, or Boston, so scrappy at home?
I'm going with Boston. Milwaukee has yet to prove to me that they can win on the road. Giannis has played well. Chris Middleton has played well. I just don't trust their other guys, the guys that they need to count on to take their game to the road, to help them win in a tough environment. Boston is going to be relaxed. They're going to extend their pressure on the defensive end, do a great job of executing. That's just what they do. I trust that Boston will come out with this win and apply a little bit more pressure.
Well, they do have the best player, but as you know, being the best player on the floor has a lot of problems and it has a lot of responsibility. Boston has a team. They have a team concept. And they're at home, and a ton of those guys have been there before. A bunch of these guys were in the conference finals last year, right? So Jaylen Brown, Al Horford, who's been in tons of playoff games. So I just trust their playoff experience a ton more than I trust Milwaukee's. And even if they do have the best player.
Now, Boston got bogged down offensively last night, though.
Road game.
Here's the deal. This is what Giannis has to do because he is the best player on the court. I mean, there's no denying that. I have yet to see. Last night was great, but we need to see that signature moment from Giannis.
So you want him to take the next step?
This game right here, LeBron completely took over the game. No matter what Detroit did. Giannis has the capabilities of doing this. Now, LeBron really couldn't shoot the ball back then, but he was relentless. He got into a rhythm, and it was nothing they could do. Giannis has to put his will on this game.
So, Giannis, don't worry. It's not a big thing anyone is asking you. Tracy just wants you to score 29 of your team's final 30 points in a big pivotal game, just like LeBron in 2011. It'd be totally easy. Well, no worries about it.
We all have benchmarks. That's that's the benchmark. Hey, you want to move forward? That's what you look what Bron's having to do this year.
Yes,
Bron's having to do. If he does not score 40 or in the high 30s,
they don't win.
They don't win.
Well, that is as I said at the start. Giannis is in the middle of his path, right? His evolution. He's not at the LeBron level yet.
If I'm going to say Giannis is next when LeBron leaves, then this is what we need to see.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. He just did the thing he did last night. I don't know if he's ready to do the next thing. We'll find out. The Bucks did hold the Celtics to 3 of 14 shooting in the final 7 minutes of the game. Boston was 1 and 10 from 3 in that span. All those shots were contested. So it's not just that they were missing buckets. So do you think the Bucks figured something out here?
I don't know if they figured something out. I just think, when you're at home, you're allowed to be more physical. When you're at home, you have a little bit more juice. When you're on the road, right, it just becomes a little bit harder. Those shots, that rhythm, the extra court time, all that rhythm that you're able to get at home is just not there. So I think that was more of the game, right? And Boston still has some young players, Jaylen Brown, Rozier, all of these guys are kind of experienced. Tatum, they're experiencing this for the first time. When they go home, they're comfortable.
The thing with Boston last night is they got out of character. Guys started playing individual ball and trying to take it upon themselves to do it, and that's not the way they play. And I give credit to Milwaukee's defense. They applied pressure like they did before. So hopefully they have to take this on the road. You're more comfortable at home. Can you do that on the road? When it's Game 7, the pressure is at its all-time high.
Well, we know the environment in Boston is amazing, so that's going to be to the Celtics' advantage, unless, of course, they're behind. And then that weight of the home crowd can be a lot. I do think Brad Stevens giving him a couple days to sort of check out that fourth quarter and break down what the Bucks were doing to them.
They're going to be fine. They got them right where they want them. At home.
Sure, at home, but in Game 7. There you go. Well, Tracy's been picking the Celtics since even before the series, so he's sticking to his guns, people.